between layoffs and the return to office mandates, really, we just can't catch a break sometimes. And I've actually been on YouTube because I'm a YouTube connoisseur, probably like yourself. And I've seen some RV couples that are right around my age that have decided to go off the road because they were laid off from their remote job. Now, if you're watching this video and you are thinking about traveling, whether it's van life or something, and you're looking for something remote, there are options that, not necessarily remote. You could do campground hosting or work camping in the medical field, not just nursing. There's all kinds of different jobs that are related to travel, picking up contracts. But as a remote standpoint, they are getting a little harder to find. But don't be discouraged. They still are out there. Some of them do require, I feel like, a lot of qualifications now. I think they're getting so many applicants because the people that are getting pushed back to the office are also looking for these remote jobs on top of the people that have already lost their jobs, on top of the people that are like, I want to go work remote, right? So you have 100,000 jobs out there that might be remote, but you have 500,000 people looking at them or more. So just to give you a little bit of a intro to what I do, I have a sales job, which is more or less an outbound kind of reach position in the industrial sales environment. So I sell anything from power tools, nuts and bolts, to toilet paper. Everybody's favorite thing to talk about. So if you work at a manufacturing plant or metalworking shop or anything that has a lot of industrial use, feel free to comment below or email me at theberrybundle@gmail.com. Love to connect with you. And my wife is also remote. She has an electronic medical records job. So that's kind of the gist of what we do to be able to do this life. Now, if you're thinking about this right now, you can do anything. I mean, there's a million jobs out there and they're all different. Everybody does it a little bit different out here. Jeez. Oh, miso strong. Cut up some chicken. Bought this rotisserie chicken the other day. I gotta eat it up. Being a bachelor, that's kind of what I do. I just make meals that are basically whatever is in the fridge. There's no meal plan. When Kate's home, there's a meal plan. A week-long meal plan. Now I'm just over here winging it. But speaking of winging it, there's a lot of people out there that think the RV'ers are just winging it, right? These young people like myself that just do irrational things by selling things, everything we own, and buying these RVs, hitting the road. But we're not winging it. Or at least I'm not. I know some do, but we don't. Because if you plan on RVing, and you think that starting a YouTube channel or social media of any type, you buy an RV and just start making videos that you're magically going to become a millionaire, or not a millionaire, but even enough money to survive, it's very hard. I'm just saying. I've been doing this 6 months now, and I'm learning. And as I learn all these different things about social media and how to make videos, there's no rhyme or reason. Please have a plan if you're going to do this. The Maggie tax. Is that yummy? That's going to be one of the thickest quesadillas in the West. She wants a cheese tax. Good girl. Okay, here's the final product. Not too bad. A little bit better than my crack burgers last week, if you watched last week's video. I got a little, well, that was what was left. It's Greek yogurt. I didn't have any sour cream, but I've heard that Greek yogurt's pretty much the same thing. It's not identical, but it's close. All right, so I guess, you're going to eat with me, and we're going to try to find a remote job while we sit right here. See what's out there. Because I haven't looked in a long time, honestly. I didn't prep for this video. I didn't do this big, ordeal and have all these jobs picked. I'm going to click on this like if I were sitting in your shoes and just start kind of weeding through some of these and seeing if any pop out to me. Let's go ahead and hit search. Oh, additional verification. Please hold. Okay, well, look at this. First one. Inbound appointment setter, remote. Wow, dang, Monday through Friday. $1,000 per sale closed from the demos you book, commission only. Okay, so this is a 1099. Yep, there it is. 1099. Now, don't be too afraid of 1099. Now, 1099 doesn't come with health insurance or any type of benefits. you're your own contractor, but sometimes they come with a little bit higher pay. This one, I don't know about that. See, I love this. This is my favorite thing. You'll always see this. Now, this is a cold calling job. When you read this, you're responsible for setting demos with small business owners. And then they say, no cold calling is involved. These are all warm inbound leads. Yes, that's side eye. I don't buy into that. Oh, it's all warm because somebody clicked on a website ad by accident and then their data has been now sold third party. Kind of like how your phone rings all the time. And then here, $1,000 a week. So this is where, you'll choose between $1,000 per sale close for the demos you book, so commission only, or $1,000 a week base plus $200 per closed sale. Honestly, I don't think this is a bad job, especially if it was something you really wanted to do. But that's not terrible. Okay, let's move on. What else do we got? There we go. Lead iOS developer or global trade compliance account manager, baby. Well, I'm not going to lie, this is harder than I anticipated. Golf course consultant, there's nothing that's really sticking out to me. Now, I kind of went over to this entry-level style, right? Customer service, picking up a phone, but some of them are still remote. And if you were desperately looking for a job, you could probably get into somewhere for customer service, just answering the phone. Now, those jobs can be kind of miserable, depending on what you're into. But for the most part, something like this might not be a bad option in this realm. Also, you got to kind of watch out for these remote in Virginia Beach. Usually, you can support our clients, but you need to live in this zip code. There's a lot of different sales executives positions that are open. See, you start getting into these executive roles, you're going to see they're going to want some experience, which you probably already know if you're looking at jobs like this. You know what these places are really looking for. But there's also another style of work, and that's freelance. So if we go back and just search for contract work, virtual concierge. What does that mean? So it's kind of like they want you to come in and kind of try you out as a contractor, and if they like you enough, they want to bring you in full time. Now, like this one, customer success manager. Those are usually pretty good roles as well. But as you can tell down here, the experience, they want a lot of different things, right? Understandably. Kind of brings me to the closing of this. I know we've kind of looked at a few different jobs, and honestly, I don't have the best answer for you on some of these. Basically, kind of want to just leave it at that because there's so many different jobs out there that you can kind of look at, and you can literally scroll through dozens of these tabs. I know there's some different YouTube videos out there that specifically go into a lot of, especially entry-level remote jobs. But if you're looking to do something like this customer success manager role, you're going to have to work towards something like that, right? I come from a blue-collar background. I built ships. I've worked on construction sites. I've made paper. I've done all these different things in my life. And at one point I said, I need to make a pivot and change to something that doesn't involve labor, because I knew eventually I was going to want to do something on a computer side of things, whether that be IT, anything. But something that requires a little bit more work, like what I'm looking at right now, this customer success manager, you're going to need to have some experience behind you. So if you need to start planning to plan ahead, start now and work your way towards that goal. It took Kate and I 8 years to be able to do RV life full time. And it wasn't just by chance that we both ended up with pretty decent jobs that are remote. Now, like I said, it is 2025 and all of these are subject to change at any time. So I hope I gave you a couple tips there, but it's just kind of a general idea if you're looking into the remote side of working, especially if you're going to hit the road full time. I'll make another video down the road about a lot of these work camping jobs, because I've actually looked into a lot of them just to see what they were like, especially when we were first considering doing this lifestyle. This is more based on the remote W-2 or 1099. But before you go, I figured I'd show you my workstation. It's very important, I think, when you're picking the right RV, if you're going to be working in it full time, to be comfortable. Now, with that being said, this is my workstation. So I got my work laptop that I plug into an HDMI for my extended monitor. This is the J5 Create mount. I'll link it in the description. That fits just right with the Brinkleys, with the little hole that's cut through here. It was a little bit tricky to get in there, but I'm crafty. You probably notice I have 3 mice on my table. So I got my gaming PC, my MacBook that I do all the editing on, and then my work mouse. So yes, it is a little crazy. But look how pretty this is. Ooh, flashing lights. I mean, really not a lot to show there, even though there is. Kate's desk is probably the coolest one out of the whole rig. It comes down from the ceiling. So on top is a queen size bed for our guests. Monitors just fold up. Pretty cool. I just take it and flip them up. Not gonna do that right now because I'm gonna put it back up. Now I know you guys enjoy comedic relief, so let's just do a little comparison here, okay? Whose desk setup do you think is better? Mine here in the kitchen. I got big windows, which is nice. Or is it Kate's with the walking treadmill, the gaming chair, which technically I gave that to her because I didn't really care for it. And then look, anytime we drop the back, she gets the view of the outside. So if you ask me, I think I got the short end of the stick. I think we need to have a petition against Kate on the channel to give Ridge the spot out back. So again, I hope this helps, guys. I really appreciate you sticking through the whole video. I've had a lot of cool people reach out to me every week, and a lot of people follow, okay? If I'm not on the money with my videos, I sure hear about it. Don't let that 475 subscribers fool you. We are gaining traction here. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.